The local share market remains in the thick of profit reporting season, with mining giant BHP grabbing headlines this morning with a record dividend payout. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has intensified his demands for interest rate cuts in the United States. Joining us live now is Chris Kohler, our business reporter. And Chris, has yesterday's ASX positivity continued?
Morning, Annalise. Look, it has a little bit. Yesterday we saw a 1% gain on the local market, which was very welcome indeed after last week's shocking run. This morning, 0.5% at the open to 6,500 points as I speak to you. Look, as you say, we are in absolutely the thick of profit reporting season. In terms of the stocks that we're seeing moving things around, BHP down 0.7%. We'll get to a little bit more on that in a moment. Big four banks up between 0.3 and 0.8%. Telstra opening flat. Now, a lot of the positivity we're seeing here today and yesterday is on the back of White House trade talks that are slightly getting a little bit more positive as we go on. Also, the delaying of sanctions on Huawei for an extra 90 days, that helps out a lot. And then that pressure that you were talking about as well from Donald Trump towards the Federal Reserve. You mentioned BHP before, and absolutely a record dividend payout, sure to keep some of the shareholders happy there at US 78 cents a share. That's Australian dollars $1.15. Now, that's $21 billion for the year in terms of dividend payouts. The overall profit number came in 124% higher than it did last year. So, look, certainly at US $8.31 billion. Now, a lot of that's on the back of the fact that the iron ore price has recently hit a 5-year high. So it could all fall apart next year. They're saying that there are some headwinds and risks with regard to Chinese appetite. So certainly a lot of attention on BHP this morning, Annalise.
There is indeed, but it is pretty extraordinary seeing those tweets coming from Donald Trump about the Fed in the United States. Have we ever seen anything like this, and what kind of impact is it going to have on the markets, or has it already had?
Yeah, this is fascinating, Annalise. We have never seen anything like this. Just to get people across what's been happening last night, the latest round of stinging attack on Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell from Donald Trump was that he has a horrendous lack of vision. Donald Trump suggesting that the Fed funds rate should be cut by 100 basis points in, quote, over a fairly short period of time, perhaps as well some quantitative easing. So he's saying all this while he's also saying that the US economy is really strong. So it's a kind of an internal contradiction in terms of messaging coming out of the White House. And because really, obviously, you can't have 100 basis points coming off the federal funds rate if the economy is going really well. And I think what's happening here is that there has been this recession indicator flashing red last week. There is some concern that the economy is not doing so well, and Donald Trump doesn't want that to be happening under his presidency. So I think he's setting things up so that he will be able to blame the Federal Reserve should the economy take another downward turn.